Hi, this is Mike from thesubstream.com. This is Watch This Instead for the week ending Friday, the 1st of October 2010. And it's also the Watch This Instead episode, this video series that we do, for the Friday that might have the single greatest density of new release good films all year. And probably if I was willing to do the research, I would be able to say, because it certainly seems that way,
of all time.
There are literally 5 really good movies coming out today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a Woody Allen movie, which you might think is good if you like Woody Allen movies. The Social Network is, of course, the big one. It's the big new release. It's the here and now movie told in the here and now. The Zeitgeist movie, directed by one of the 4 or 5 best Hollywood directors working, David Fincher. It's really good. Just don't go see it. Buried is coming out in some markets starring Ryan Reynolds, and it's another really good movie that I saw at the Toronto Film Festival a couple weeks ago. It's really smart. It's way more experimental than it looks from the way that they cut the trailers together. It's a really smart, experimental, scary thriller that also has some political things to say about the state of the world, and it's really good, and you could go see that as well. But don't! Let Me In, the remake of the hit Swedish underground vampire sensation Let the Right One In, is coming out, and it is a spectacular film. It's one of the prettiest films I've seen in a long time, and one of the 2 young teenage actor-actress leads, or maybe both of them, is going to get an Oscar nomination because they're almost unbelievably good in this film. It's really smart, it's really dark, it's really creepy, it's a really good remake, and you could probably see that weekend, but don't. Waiting for Superman comes out this weekend, which is one of the year's best documentaries. It's about the absolute dismal failure that the American education system has become, and it won the Audience Award for Best Documentary at the last year's Sundance Film Festival, and it's really good, and you could see that movie this weekend, but don't. See something else instead. Watch something else instead this weekend. If there is a hair on your head or chin or arm or a cell in your skin or bone or meat or juice or toe at the far end of your foot, at the end of leg highway, that thinks that you might theoretically laugh a little bit at a movie that's about 2 hosers with mullets that drink beer and try and game the unemployment system in Fort McMurray in northern Alberta, that's also a mockumentary remake of the classic Canadian film Going Down the Road, please go watch Fubar 2 this weekend. Instead of all those things that I mentioned, I am literally begging you. I have no personal stake in this. I don't know any of the people that are responsible for making this film, never met them, never been in the same room as them, never interviewed them. I just saw this film at Midnight Madness at the Toronto International Film Festival and realized it's one of the 4 or 5 or 6 or 3 best Canadian feature films that I've ever seen. It's not just funny, it's not just raunchy, it's incredibly touching, which is amazing. It just desperately needs to be seen, and soon. It's really good. Okay, so there's the Fincher movie and Let Me In, and the documentary about schools, and the Woody Allen movie, and Buried with Ryan Reynolds. Those are gonna be around for a while. You can go catch them, and you should go catch them because they're all really good films coming out the same day. But Fubar 2 is that most rare of movies, a Canadian feature that has got theatrical distribution that also deserves it. If you think you would laugh, you will laugh. If you think you might like it, you'll love it. Fubar 2 is a very good film, and even if you live in Detroit, go to Windsor. If you live in Seattle, go to Vancouver. Just cross the border to go see it because it's really funny, really well made, and it deserves to be seen as much as possible. So go watch Fubar 2 instead this weekend.